I don't think the Democrats understand that it's over and that there was a vast infrastructure that made their feeble arguments viable, and that infrastructure is now collapsing. People are far more aware, and their lives aren't going to function anymore.
Well, it makes sense now that we're seeing these numbers because, okay, this was what was funding the infrastructure. Now we get it. Because it wasn't, otherwise, it's organic. This is the will of the people. This is how people are moving. It's not. It wasn't that at all. This was all organic, and it was really about control and money. It had nothing to do with helping people, making people better, giving aid to foreign countries. That's all a cloak and dagger.
That's Brett Weinstein on the Joe Rogan show, both dropping profound truth bombs. Bottom line, it's over for the Democrats. Their entire social and political infrastructure that made their feeble, pathetic, virtue signaling arguments viable has collapsed. This coming ironically from two former Democrats. And we're seeing the aftermath, the fallout, the wreckage each and every day from that collapse. Now, of course, there, Joe and Brett were talking particularly about Elon Musk and Doge dismantling USAID, which was nothing more than a Democrat slush fund, funneling literally billions of dollars, taxpayer dollars, into left-wing special interest coffers, artificially propping up and sustaining progressive power in the absence of any viable popularity. And in addition to that, as part of that dismantling, we have the unraveling of ActBlue. ActBlue was, and that's the key, was the premier Democrat Political Action Committee, raising billions for the Democrats. We're talking a total of $13 billion as of 2024. They're now officially defunct. They've imploded. They're experiencing mass resignation. 7 of their top executives have all left. None of them will explain on the record why they left. And so you're seeing the money laundering operation dismantled. You're seeing the key political action wing of that operation dismantled. And now we're seeing the propaganda arm of that operation imploding like the Hindenburg. Media trust is at an all-time low. 7 in 10 Americans distrust the legacy media. Let that hit you. 7 in 10. That 30% that remains loyal are all Democrats who obviously have no problem being lied to. They would rather immerse themselves in legacy media fabrications than deal with the reality that civilizational populism is the political and cultural wave of the future. And of course, we're learning more and more each and every day just how duplicitous the media was in their 4-year coverage of Biden. Remember, the scandal was not how the Democrats and Biden's inner circle covered up his cognitive decline. That was bad enough, no question. By the way, we're learning it was far worse than any of us imagined. But that was bad enough. The real scandal was how the media was complicit in that cover-up. And they were complicit, at the very least, in their presumed innocence with the Democrats. The coverage over the last 4 years has been consistent. Biden and the Democrats were always presumed innocent until proven guilty. And good luck on that. Good luck on finding any evidence short of Biden literally melting down on live national television that would work for the legacy media. That was the only evidence that they would have, accepted. And even then, lunatics like Joe Scarborough and MSNBC continued to run cover for Biden, even after he imploded in front of the entire nation on live television. But bottom line, the legacy media always presumed Biden and the Democrats innocent until proven guilty. All the while, they presumed Trump and the MAGA movement guilty until proven innocent. Hence why when Democrat Cory Booker and Elon Musk make the exact same arm gesture The Democrat, Cory Booker, is presumed completely innocent in that gesture, while the MAGA loyalist is presumed to be a Nazi sympathizer. I mean, it's really that simple. And most deservedly, no one is buying it anymore, outside of that 30% of the country that wants to be continuously lied to because they can't handle reality. Outside of that 30%, no one is buying this anymore. And even the legacy media is admitting the fallout from this total implosion in the Democrat infrastructure. Check this out.
But take a look at Reuters Ipsos. Party with a better economic plan. Just before Donald Trump was reelected president, Republicans had a 9-point advantage. Look at where we are now in May of 2025. The advantage actually went up by 3 points. Now Republicans have a 12-point advantage when it comes to the party with a better economic plan. And again, this is after months of supposed economic uncertainty in which the stock market's been going bonkers, in which the tariff wars that Americans are against have been going on. And yet, despite all of that, the Democrats are down by 12 points on the economy. This speaks to Democratic problems on the economy better than basically anything that you could possibly look at. The Republicans still hold an advantage on the all-important key issue of the day, and that is the reason why, even if Donald Trump's approval ratings are a little bit lower than they used to be, Republicans are not out of the ballgame because they still have a clear advantage on the economy, whether you look at CNN's polls or whether you look at the Ipsos poll right here, in which they have a 12-point advantage on the economy.
Now, you can hear the disconnect there with Harry. You can hear that. Notice what he said. Even with all the months of economic uncertainty, even with the market going up and down, back and forth, even with the tariff wars that nobody wants, and still the GOP is blowing it out of the water. But of course, you can resolve that supposed tension by inserting the term reported in what Harry just said. Just put in a single term, reported, and the tension melts away. Even with the months of reported economic uncertainty, reported market fluctuations, reported tariff discontent. You see, Harry, this tension disappears when you realize that nobody cares. Nobody is listening to what the legacy media reports. So obviously, there's going to be a glaring discrepancy between what is reported and reality. I mean, have you seen this? The Atlanta Fed, which is one of the 12 regional banks that make up the Federal Reserve System, they're now predicting that real GDP growth for Q2 is going to hit 4.6%. That's more than double their original optimistic projection. I mean, the economy is exploding. Americans are elated with this new administration. It's got Reagan vibes. The economy is finally being unleashed and everyone knows it. That's the reality versus the doom and gloom reporting that no one's listening to anymore. And if you could believe it, it gets worse for Harry and for CNN.
And also in the CNN data, it does show that Republicans are gaining ground in an area that is key relating to all of this, which is when it comes to the middle class.
Yeah. You know, historically speaking, which is the party of the middle class, has been a huge advantage for Democrats. I have polling from NBC going all the way back since 1989 when Democrats had a 23-point advantage. 2016, a 17-point advantage. But by this decade, we already started seeing declines back in 2022 where you saw that Democrats led, but only by 4 points, well within the margin of error. And now in our latest CNN poll among registered voters, which is the party of the middle class, it is tied. This, I think, speaks to Democratic ills more than anything else.
Now, what have we been saying on this channel for years now? What have we been saying? If you've been with us for years now, what have we been saying ad nauseum for years? And make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button if you're new here. Love to have you as a regular part of our community. The Republican Party, the new Trumpian GOP, is now the party of the working class. This is exactly what we're seeing happening all over Europe with the rise of civilizational populism. It's happening where the working class is defecting, consistently defecting away from the political left and joining the nationalist populist right. We first saw it in 2016 when nearly 200 counties in Wisconsin, Iowa, Michigan Pennsylvania, that had voted Democrat in every single presidential election for the past 30 years, interestingly, going back to 1988, reflecting Harry's data there that started in 89. They voted Democrat in every single election, but suddenly switched and voted en masse Republican. They voted Trump in what was nothing less than a complete political earthquake. It caught Hillary totally off guard. And then we saw a comparable shift in 2024 among the non-white working class defecting and voting for Trump, with the vast majority of Latino men. We're talking 60%. Latino men across the nation defecting over to the GOP in November. And speaking of defections, we got another one. Yet another Democrat has flipped. This is like 3-1 Democrats flipping the GOP than the other way around over the last 20 years. It's absolutely stunning. But yes, we've got yet another Democrat who has flipped. This is going to absolutely make your day. But first, gang, losing weight is not just about looking good. It's about taking back control of your overall health. But we have so much work to do in making America healthy again. 42% of adults in America are classified as obese, which is directly linked to severe health issues, including heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and cancer. These illnesses are costing Americans over $173 billion each year in medical expenses alone. Now, if you've tried diets and different workouts with no success, it's not your fault. Big food, big pharma, they've rigged the system against you. But there is good news. The wellness company just launched Drop, a GLP-1 peptide oral drop formula developed by their chief medical board, specifically designed to support your metabolism, curb cravings, and help you shed weight. That's right. No injections, no risk of severe side effects. Simply take Drop in water, gradually increasing the quantity over time, and let your body do the rest. Start your weight loss journey today and get $75 off plus free shipping. Head to twc.health/Turley and use code Turley. Take action today for a healthier tomorrow. Click on that link below right now. And so yet another Democrat has switched parties. Kentucky State Senator Robin Webb has officially ditched the Democrats, has joined the Republicans. Here she is with Laura Ingraham.
Well, so transgenderism, abortion on demand, girls' sports being invaded by biological men, the anti-Semitic stuff on college campuses, that's all being identifying with the Democrats now. So that's somehow not appealing to you?
Well, I've been a rural state senator and always conservative. My first House district was actually a Republican district. I represented them for 10 years. The rural values that we have grown up with and value. I've just been a continuous struggle for me, and my voting record has been consistent on those issues as far as conservatism, constitutionalism, and all of those things. So I feel like this is the time to make that statement and go back to the Republican Party.
Now, again, we talked about this last night on our live stream, our Monday night live stream broadcast. Trump has won the culture wars. What you just saw there is a perfect example of Trump and the MAGA movement having won the culture wars. Again, you're not going to hear that on CNN because just look at CNN panels. The woke left, those who advocate the most insane woke issues, are disproportionately represented on those panels in a way that completely distorts reality. Only about 20% of the population at most supports the woke positions that are being advocated by the Democrat leadership. And yet, woke proponents make up what? Anywhere from half to 3/5 of those panels. It's often Scott Jennings alone versus 4 or 5 others all spouting woke talking points in unison. Again, the point here is that that panel has nothing to do with reality. It is totally disproportionate from the discussions that are happening across the heartland. In fact, take a look at this. This is a new health report that's making the rounds on social media. Again, we've covered this precise phenomenon before on this channel because there's been a number of studies confirming and corroborating this. Those are purported to be in excellent mental health are majority conservative, 51% conservative. All the while, those who are in poor mental health, the neurotics of our nation, they're purported to be 45% liberal. Only 19% of those in poor mental health are conservative. And again, it's not hard to see why. Liberals, by and large, want to be lied to. They are living a lie. That is not mentally and emotionally and psychologically healthy. They want to be lied to, and that's the task of the legacy media. The legacy media is there to spin narratives that serve to feed the confirmation bias of woke leftists who cannot come to terms with the radically conservative nature of reality. And the bottom line here, it's catching up with them. That fabrication, that artificial structure, that political infrastructure that made their feeble, pathetic, virtue signaling arguments viable has collapsed. The money laundering operation is gone. The political PAC wing of that operation is gone. And the propaganda wing of that operation is largely gone at its lowest level of trust ever. It really does appear to be over, finally over, for the Democrats. Hey there, Turley Talker. You know what? I'd love to hear from you. That's why I'm launching the Dr. Steve Hotline, where you can call in, leave a question, and maybe even hear your own voice featured on an upcoming episode of the show. Whether it's about the latest political shakeup or cultural trends or how we keep pushing forward in this new conservative age, I want to know what's on your mind. Call me at 717-844-5984. Just leave your question. I'll be checking in every single week to answer as many as I can. Again, that's 717-844-5984. Your chance to be a part of the conversation. One more time, 717-844-5984. Give me a call and let's talk.